This here is the all-new MINI Aceman, and in this very first version it shows, first of all, a new EV, a small or EV SUV or crossover by MINI, and also how the future Mini Cooper will look like from the design language, a totally new design language and more playful elements. We can see it already right here in the front. It has this recognition for pedestrians, basically greeting me, and when I move to the left, for example, it sees I'm moving to the left, and when I move to the right, it shows me I'm moving to the right. We will see if elements like these will come into effect in a real vehicle, but this is also a scheme in the whole automotive industry that cars are supposed to communicate with the outside world, with pedestrians. Side profile 159 in inches or 4 meters and 5. So it is basically between the Mini Cooper and the Mini Countryman, so a model that fills this gap. Still 5 doors, but more in a crossover or SUV style. In this concept here, 20-inch wheels, but nowadays we see that these concept wheels will probably also look quite like this in a real car. This one maybe will not become reality here with the seat belts, as the roof carrier, but it looks fancy indeed, and this is supposed to be British racing green, and this is supposed to be like a very light turquoise color. Accentuated wheel arches, so we can see that the design language by MINI in these new generation of Minis, all electric of course, they will be on the one hand more playful, but on the other hand also more consistent with the design. And in the rear we also have animated signature here, for example, of the Union Jack in the tail lamps, and once again this crossover stressing right here. So this then here, the EV crossover or small EV SUV, and there will be the Mini Cooper, and then probably they'll also once again do a new bigger one in a new generation. We expect this one here in 2024, and the new Mini Cooper will come earlier and also feature some of the interior elements we can see right here. For example, this is then the door. We can also hear a sound like a greeting sound saying hello. So this is once again a thing that the car wants to communicate with you, and we have a lot of interesting materials. It's of course here in this first sketch a little bit stressed out that they want to be very modern and fancy and so on. So there will also be normal colors available, or more, let's say, colors that are a little bit more subtle. But here, very interesting material choice. It's all animal free, and there is a fabric here, for example, and this one then is green microfiber in this structured style. It feels really, really nice, really cool. This is a hard pack material here, but at the same time it looks like stone, so interesting new material choices. And the steering wheel has these buttons that are integrated in the fabric, and once again also microfiber around, so it looks really, really fancy indeed. And the seats here have a sporty style with integrated head restraints and a lot of side bolstering, and this is, by the way, also like a microfiber or cord material. This one more a rugged fabric. Here once again in this very expressive styling, because they want to show off a little bit, so to speak. You have a little higher entry, but actually very comfortable seating position. You also have with 1.89 meters or 6'2". Some headroom left here. This is a panoramic roof. It will probably be a little bit smaller than at the end of the day. And the steering wheel is actually, everything looks super, super fancy here, and maybe a little bit too much, but this is also when they do this first sketching. But actually how you sit in here and take a look at the steering wheel, or the form, and also the material, that is really cool. So I could imagine that maybe in more subtle colors in a real vehicle after all. Interesting also that they have a completely new user interface in the middle. You can see there are no instruments here. There will be a head-up display later on, at least, so though we are not stuck without head-up display like in Tesla Model 3 or the Y. And also you will have animations here on the dashboard. We can take a look at that now, because you can see there is a round OLED screen in the middle, and the quality, the crispness of the colors is amazing. I've never seen that in a vehicle. I would say let's take a close look, because this is also one of the highlights. Temperature sliders will be here. They don't work yet, but you can slide them like this then. Then you can maybe like start it here when everything is working. But let's take a look at these lower functions and zoom more to the screen. Here, these are new gauges. This is like a turning key to start the vehicle. This will be the gear selector, up and down, And on the right side, this is then a mode selector, and this changes then the infotainment system. So you have 3 modes. This is the so-called personal mode. And here, for example, you can have personal pictures you put in there, and the crispness here again of these, look at that. I mean, it looks so amazing. It's really the best screen quality-wise I've seen yet. Here, the cloud animation. So you have this central screen, yes, but it also dissolves to the rest of the dashboard. So you can also have, for example, animations of GPS in there. And here, for example, now water is being projected onto that. That looks really amazing. Things on the dashboard, by the way, are projected from up here. There you can see, for example, here when there's this A, and when I move my hand over there, I have the A on my hand. Put it to another mode. It's the so-called pop-up mode here. And this is supposed to be, let's go, like a new GPS. For example, I want to experience something, and then I can let the car decide for me. Spin that wheel and see the car decides, oh, I'm going to a casino. And then there's a route guidance to a casino, and there's also then the GPS guidance, also like a transition to the dashboard and so on. And you can see I don't know, the cards here and so on. It's of course in this stage a very playful element, but they want to make things easier in a way and more playful at the same time. This is, for example, when you're waiting for a friend, and then you can have like a game here, and then you can see what I push out of the screen, like these letters here. They're going. Once again, let's push more letters in here, and I can have new letters in here, and the mini logo I can push that over to the side, and then it's right here. Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm not sure if this is very useful, but why not be a little bit more playful? Here, by the way, also at night, you can see it looks really fancy, and then you can even see these letters a little bit better, these Aceman letters. Yeah, I see we are going to play this all the time probably, and then just let these letters fly all over the dashboard. The infotainment system, by the way, Android based, so they do not use this Android Automotive system, so it's not all by Google, but they use the software. So BMW still owns all the data and so on, but they use the software behind it, Android based now. That is a special new thing introduced then with the new Minis. The lower middle console is also very interesting. Cup holder, a lot of space here, inductive charging pad for your phone there. But also they say, here, we add some more cushion elements in between the seats, and then you just squeeze your smartphone in between these elements, for example. In the rear here, a very interesting atmosphere as well. You really have this fancy living room atmosphere, I would say. Headroom, still a lot of headroom left here, although I'm tall. As for the seats, maybe I could move them a little bit more forward, but there won't be too much legroom because it's still a very short vehicle. If they use this EV platform to a full extent, well, we have something of a middle tunnel here in this concept, but that might be for structural rigidity or then placing the battery here, or just for design reasons. We have to see how it plays out in the final version. If you subscribe to our channel, we'll keep you updated both here with this Mini Aceman and also with the new Mini Cooper, which will even come earlier, and then also with this design language, screen layout, and so on and so on. Let's take also a look about the electric thing about this vehicle. Recharging here, passenger side in the rear. This is the Chinese plug, by the way, because originally this car was supposed to be aired in China, but we are here in Germany for you today. And we do not have the specific details as for recharging, battery capacity and range and so on. We will deliver that to you at a later stage. And this one here, the Mini Aceman, will actually then come after the Mini Cooper, but it will already give you all the design details, exterior, interior. So it might not be that expressive, but we will see a lot of these design elements in the very final versions. The question is, do you like it? Exterior and the interior layout? Tell me in the comments. Really looking forward to that. And I think it's very interesting. Maybe things are a little bit too much, but this crossover concept will work. The EV concept, of course, will work. And also Mini is stressing the sustainability aspect and will completely ditch animal material on the interior whatsoever. This is already decided, and of course a better thing to do than most of the other manufacturers. More and more hopping on that train, and Mini is going forward with that too. So what do you think about the Mini Aceman here and the new Mini design language? And also check out other Mini videos we have here for you.